I went ham in August. I went off, dude, on watching movies. Welcome back to Dramatic Evaluation. Please hook me up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. In this video, I'm going to be doing my monthly going over what I've been watching for the month of August. There were some good ones in here for sure. Definitely some movies and shows I recommend that I'll touch on here. Whenever I do these, I always forget to say the streaming service that they're on where you can watch them, but I do put them half the time I'll mention it, half the time I don't. I put it in the video description and the timestamps though. I'll put it in parentheses next to the movie title or show title so that you can see where to watch these. But I started using a new video editing software where I finally can do a little bit more than weak sauce iMovie will allow, and now I'm going to be putting images in for the thing I'm talking about, and it'll include the logo for the streaming service in there. So going forward, that's what I'll do. So whether or not I remember to mention it, it'll be there on the screen right here, probably, maybe here, depending. And it'll also be in the timestamps too, so you can check that out. This is going to be a big one. I went ham in August. I went off, dude, on watching movies. So much so, there's a few in here that I just don't even mention because they're just that crappy and nothing really to say about them. But I don't leave too many out. I'm going to try to get through all these. There's a ton, so let's get into it. Okay, we'll start with movies as we do. So Echo Valley on Apple TV Plus. This movie was pretty solid. Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but Apple TV Plus just has legit quality. The actors, these are two good actors. The vibe of it looked cool, so I watched it, and it was a pleasant surprise. It was really good. It was a cool story, very engaging. The situation that the characters find themselves in. Sydney Sweeney is kind of like a back and forth drug addict. She goes to her mom's house, brings some drama and nonsense with this drug dealer, kind of back home, into her world, and she has to help deal with it and what happens in it, and then the creative way of solving the problem and handling the situation at the end of the movie. It was pretty cool, so definitely recommend that one. It was good. Final Destination, Bloodlines. I've watched all the Final Destination movies. This is the seventh one. Pretty good. Is what it is. I think it was better than a few of the Final Destination movies, but certainly not the greatest movie of all time or anything. These movies have their issues for sure of just taking liberties with what will or won't happen with the characters and how they die and stuff like that and whatever. But yeah, it was fine. It is on HBO Max if you want to check that one out. Horns. I had this on my list on Tubi forever and finally just watched it. Not at all what I was expecting it to be. Not sure what I was expecting it to be, but Daniel Radcliffe, first of all, great actor. Everyone always pigeonholes him. Oh, it's Harry Potter guy. Okay, at this point, he's been in 1,000 things, movies and shows. He's not the Harry Potter guy. He's just a dude who's a solid, very good actor and is in a bunch of good stuff. This is one of them. Should check this movie out if you haven't seen it. It's a creative, interesting movie, and he kills it in this movie. So check that out. Spree. So this is a movie with Steve from Stranger Things. Love Steve. He's my favorite character in Stranger Things. The actor's great. This movie, he's basically an Uber driver, Lyft driver, and he's picking up people and killing them, and he's live streaming it the whole time. And he's trying to make a name for himself on the internet and become a streamer or influencer, trying to get views by killing people on live stream. So kind of a horror-ish element to it, but it's all kind of through the view of his phone or the different cameras he's got set up in his car. And it was pretty interesting. It was pretty good, and it was definitely better than I expected. This one was free on Tubi if you want to check that one out. KPop Demonhunters. Legit. This is an animated movie. It's sort of a musical movie. There's definitely, they go into songs like a musical movie. It's maybe a little lighter on that than typical musical movies are, but it's enough to definitely classify it as a musical movie. But yeah, it's this K-pop group that also are secretly, or I don't even know if it's secretly, but like are demon hunters. There's like demons that come into the world and they like fight them. And there's this group of demons that form a boy band that compete with them on the musical level. But then there's like crossover of one of the characters in the K-pop group like becoming a demon but fighting off, figuring that situation out. I don't know, it was pretty good. Like the music was good. If you like if you can get into not even just K-pop, but just like good pop music, like there's a few bangers in this movie. So for that alone, I liked it. The movie itself, the story, it was fine. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. Check it out if you like musical movies and don't mind animated. Weapons, I did a video on that, so you can check that out for a little more in depth. It's a spoiler-free video. Loved this movie. My favorite movie of the year so far. It was incredible. Zach Cregger is a genius. Barbarian was incredible. This movie was incredible. I cannot wait for him to do another one. They better give this guy the green light on anything he wants to do ever. Freelance. This was a movie on Netflix with John Cena and Annie from Community. What's her name? Allison Brie. Pretty, it's one of these like action comedy, romantic, not really romantic comedy actually, but like just action comedy with John Cena. Say no more, right? Like what that is going to be. A bunch of movies that are that vein, and it's typical of that. It's nothing to write home about. It wasn't terrible, but wasn't that great. Freaky Tales. I watched this on HBO Max. This was surprising and pretty good. Of course, who do you think's in this? Pedro Pascal, right? Because he's in everything in the world. So of course he's in this, but there's other people in it. So it's three different like stories with different characters that sort of basically end up tying together at the end of the movie. But it's like kind of presented in sections where it's like these three different stories, and it's pretty good. I won't go into detail on what the stories are, but it's action thriller type of stuff, and it's got this like 80s underlying 80s vibe with the music and the tone and the feeling of everything, and the setting literally like I think is in the 80s, like the costuming and stuff. So this wasn't a banger, like awesome incredible movie, but it was good and it was entertaining, and definitely recommend checking that one out. Brick on Netflix, it was all right. People get stuck in their apartment, it's all walled off. All of a sudden they wake up or realize there's this wall of like brick. It's not brick, it's like I won't go into what the movie's about and what it is, but there's this barrier where they can't get out of their apartment, and so they're trying to figure it out. It was okay, not that great, but entertaining and decent enough thriller. Dangerous Animals. So here's one of the bangers, dude. This movie was so good. You got to check this out. It's a Shudder movie, it said, but it was like I have Shudder through Prime, and it didn't come out on Shudder. I think this movie was, usually they're known for like kind of like B movies, but they have their handful of awesome movies, Revenge being one of them. Check that out if you haven't seen it. This one was like not B movie. This was well done, well made, good actors, good story, good execution of everything. It was freaking awesome. This crazy guy who like does like shark tours, like he'll take you out on a boat and feed the sharks and stuff, is like a psycho, like serial killer, kidnaps people and murders them. So then he kidnaps this one girl, the wrong girl to kidnap, and she has to try to get out of there. That's the gist of it. So good. But like I said, this hasn't been released on Shudder. I just ended up renting it on Prime because I didn't want to wait anymore. It'll probably go on Shudder eventually, but dude, this movie was just far better than I thought it was going to be, and it was legit. Like if you like that kind of survival horror type of movie, check it out for sure. This was a great movie. The Assessment, I watched this on Hulu. Pretty good. It's just kind of boring-ish, slow burn type of movie, but interesting. Like while you're watching it, this futuristic world, this couple wants to have a baby. To do that, you have to go through this assessment where this person comes to your house and like assesses if you're fit to be parents, because it's population control is part of the world or something, so they have to go through that process to be able to do it. The person comes and is like pretending to be a kid the whole time and is like freaking out and being a weird little, pretending to be a weird little kid to, I guess, see how they'll handle it. But it's also, she's got her own kind of motives and thing going on. So it was pretty interesting. I guess a thriller drama type of movie, but good actors, incredible actors and performances in this movie, and check it out if that sounds good to you. Woman in the Yard. No, I'm good. No. Watched it on Peacock. Sucked. Short, weak. A lady sits in the yard. People in the house are like, what's going on there? And then it just devolves into ridiculousness and was not good at all. Don't recommend that. Don't bother with that. Let the Right One In. This is an older movie, a vampire movie. It's a foreign movie. It's a Swedish movie, so you do have to read the subtitles if you don't mind that. This is a good movie. It's a slow burn for sure. It's not necessarily boring because it's just well made. It's a real artfully made movie. It's like one of those art house movies, and so the cinematography and the music and everything is good. It's just the pacing is a little slow. But then there are these couple of moments that pop up that are like, whoa, like, okay, that was worth the wait. It was a good movie. Of course, they do the hand slicing thing in this that I've commented on before, where instead of just making a little cut somewhere that's out of the way, let's draw a blade across the entirety of my palm and then squeeze it to have the blood come out. And like, you're gonna live your life like that now for the next few weeks with this gigantic gash across your entire palm? Just like, do a cut right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's foolishness. But other than that, great movie. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. A while back, I watched all the Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich because I never saw them. They are what they are. Not great. Silly. Nothing to do with the games, basically. This movie, like, I don't know if they were attempting to pay homage to the game more, or like involve the game more, but I mean, it definitely was closer to what the second game, Resident Evil 2, is, but like so far from it and not at all. It was just in setting and character names, like that's how it related to the movie, but aside from that, like not really, and not great. Not a great movie. Pretty weak sauce. Can't wait for a Resident Evil movie that is good, and news comes out that Zach Krager, who did Weapons and Barbarian, is going to be involved in making a Resident Evil movie. Okay, let's go. I'm down. I'm in on that. He's going to do something good with it. So we'll see what happens. But there hasn't been a Resident Evil movie that's been good yet. Hopeful for that one for sure. Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg and a bald cap. And not even a bald cap. This movie, he's a pilot. They're escorting like a criminal. And then it turns out he's not a pilot. He is, but like he's working for the mob that this prisoner was involved with, and he's like here to kill the guy off so he doesn't testify against the mob boss or whatever. And so they were fighting in the plane, and then got to figure the situation out. He has they do this like reveal or something where like his hat comes off. He's got a hat and hair the whole time, and then the hat comes off, and it's like, oh, he's bald. Like, is that supposed to? We already know it's not him at this point in the movie. So there's no reveal necessary of like, also taking the bald, like showing that he's bald doesn't mean like, oh no, it's this guy. It's just a guy. It does nothing. Also, it's not a bald cap. There's like certain shots where it's like, they just shaved his head. You can see the like dark, like 5 o'clock shadow stubble of hair. That's the bald part, dude. Like, what are you doing? Wild choice. Don't get it. Also, the main actor, who was like the cop, atrocious actor. Most rigid, like unemotive, terrible. She's terrible. She was terrible. This movie sucked. Don't watch that. Terrible movie on Starz. Don't watch it. The Crow. This is a remake or really like reimagining. It's been a long time since I saw the original Crow. Don't remember any of this kind of stuff happening in that one. So I think they just kind of took liberties and made their own completely new story. But it's got my guy Bill Skarsgård in it. I love him. He's awesome. There was some moments in it that were pretty good. There was one action like fight sequence that was pretty rad. Like he essentially can't die halfway through the movies, so he's going around like fighting people, and people are like he's taking like blades through the chest, but still being able to fight. Like there was one sequence that was very cool, but at the end of the day, wasn't the greatest movie ever. It was fine. It was entertaining and decent. 28 years later, finally watched that. Pretty good. Again, one of these where it's like not quite what I was expecting, but good. Definitely different than the first two movies. I mean, it's 28 years into the future of that, so kind of evolved into what the world looked like in this movie compared to what it was before when it was first breaking down. So I guess maybe that's one of the big differences there. But I mean, it was good. The actors are awesome in this movie. They all did great, and the story was pretty cool. And then it gets real weird at the end. The way this movie ends, if you watch this or have seen it, you know what I mean. Like these characters that show up at the very end, it was quite a very different vibe and tone from the rest of the movie, where it was like, what the heck? And it leads into the second one. I think they're doing like a trilogy with this. So the second one, I guess, will involve these characters. But yeah, pretty weird ending, but good movie overall. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Finally watched this. I had this on my list for a while, but I didn't want to watch it because it's like 9.5 hours long. Finally watched it. Not that good. The original series is fine, but this one is like whatever. Watched this on Starz also. I was not even going to include this in this because it's like a whatever movie. I really don't have anything to say about it. What I do remember I want to say and why I am talking about it, what's with the anus names? Okay? There's two characters in this movie, Coriolanus and Sejanus. What are you doing? Why are you naming two characters anus? You could name anything, man. You could come up with anything you want, and you choose anus for two of the characters. Pretty weird, but hey, man, if that's what you're into. Eenie, Meanie on Hulu, awesome. I love this actor. I'm going to be doing eventually a top favorite actors video, and she is on this list. She is incredible. She is in everything right now, but like on this low-key level that you might not even literally know who this person is, but she's in so many good movies that are just like going under the radar, I feel like, right now. Her name is Sam Weaving, or Samara Weaving, but I think she goes by Sam for short, and she is so good. One of my favorite movies that she's in is Ready or Not. Solid horror, thriller, survival kind of movie. This movie is like her. She's like has a skill of being like a driver. There's her ex-boyfriend's like a piece of trash. He gets in a situation where they need money to basically save his life with these mob people or whatever. And so she kind of helps out, and it's this kind of action thriller type of movie. And she plays this same type of character in a lot of movies. It's just because she's so good at it, but like it's very one of these forgivable things of like, I don't care, I just want to watch her do that because she's good at it. Super recommend this movie. It's on Hulu. Definitely check that one out. Bring Her Back, A24 movie, super good. Somewhat of a slow burn, but there's enough stuff going on all throughout it. It's engaging. It's solid horror movie. Very, very cool, like interesting idea. And execution is really good. There's some moments that you're just like, I love when I'm watching a movie like this type of movie genre, and my mouth is like open, and I'm like mouth agape at like the gnarliness and intensity of like what's happening. And there were a few of these, or at least two of these moments in this movie. So very solid. I really enjoyed this movie. I just rented that one on Prime, and definitely recommend that one. And then finally, for the last movie I'll talk about, Thunderbolts. Came out on Disney Plus. Finally watched that Marvel movie. Pretty solid. I love Florence Pugh. I love Sebastian Stan. There are several actors in this and characters in this movie that I like a lot. So seeing them all together was cool. Setting it up for future movies with this crew of people, I'm into that. So yeah, man, I had a great time watching this one. This is a lot of fun. Fun action Marvel movie if you like those. Real quick onto shows. I know this is running long, but we'll get through a few of these real quick. Fubar Season 2. I talked about Season 1 last time. Pretty good. Entertaining. Action comedy. Not that awesome, but it's entertaining if you like a spy action comedy kind of show. The Rain. Talked about that one also. Finished that one. Season 2 and 3. Pretty solid. Foreign show, but I watched it not subtitles. It's dubbed, so I don't have to read it. And I prefer that. And it was pretty good, man. Like post-apocalyptic. I think I talked about it in the last video. You can check that video out for maybe a little more of my synopsis on that. But finished that one. Solid show. I recommend that one. 3 seasons, but they're short, like 6-episode seasons. Daredevil Born Again, finally. Watched it. I went through those billions of Marvel shows, like I said. Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Punisher and Luke Cage and all these hours and hours and hours just to get to this because I wanted to watch this. Wasn't that good. Was not really worth it. Pretty boring. And honestly, the original show was better. The original Daredevil compared to this one. Not terrible, but, I was just kind of like, man, I don't know. If I had to do all that again, maybe I wouldn't have done. I don't know. There was good stuff in all those shows, but yeah, this one is just like whatever for this one. SEC football, Any Given Saturday on Netflix. This was solid. It was one of these documentary ones. If you like Hard Knocks on HBO or, the quarterback or receiver shows on Netflix, you'll like this. They did a really good job, like setting with narrative, like setting up like the rivalries or like the matchups, and like showing like this school and this school, like the players and the coaches and stuff. And then they'd like play against each other at the end of that episode. Like they did a very good job of setting up, that narrative and following through and seeing that. But then they kind of went off the rails toward the end, and it was kind of all of a sudden like different players in a different school where you're like, well, it was like this school for 3 episodes, and then all of a sudden this last episode's a school I didn't even see before. So they maybe could have integrated that a little bit more if they were gonna feature people, like feature them all throughout, so you kind of get to know them a little bit more and are more familiar. But small nitpick, like overall it was a good show. If you're a football fan and you like that kind of show, it was solid. And then finally Smoke on Apple TV Plus. Wow, this show is solid. Another person from my favorite actor list that's going to be coming at some point, Taron Egerton, super good. Journey Smollett, very good actor. Basically, this guy is a arson investigator, and he's trying to I don't want to like. There's a switch that happens in like after like 2 episodes. This is a 9-episode show. It starts one way and then it like veers over to another thing, and then it's like a snowball of like holy crap, like it's a thriller. It starts off like as this seems like it's a detective type of show where they're trying to like solve crimes of, there's these fires going on, we got to investigate and like find who the person is. You're also seeing the perspective of one of the arsonists. So you're kind of like, seeing it all come together. But then a switch happens like a few episodes into where you're like, oh, whoa, like this got way more interesting. I don't want to say what that is and spoil it, but explaining it more would help sell it. But just trust me, Apple TV, the quality of these shows and movies they're putting out are incredible. The cinematography, the writing, everything about the production value of the show is top notch. The actors are very good. Just couldn't recommend this one more. It's a solid thriller type show. If you're into that, definitely check that out. So that's it for what I've been watching. I know that was a long one, but I watched a lot of good stuff in August, and I definitely recommend a good chunk of those that I just talked about. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you've seen any of these, if you plan on watching them. If you did see them, let me know what you thought. Stay tuned. Until next time.